We live. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, and we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. I'm currently here in Thailand. It is 9 a.m. in the morning. And last week I did a few lives. They were actually outside. I was set up to do a live today, going to the gym and all that good stuff. But it's a little cool and the wind is picking up a lot. It's heavy winds right now. It's about a cool 70 degrees, maybe tapping at the heavy 60s or something out here. So it's a little cooler out here right now. And I didn't want that wind to interfere with the audio. So we haven't done one of these shows in a while as far as me being inside, but I do got a good show lined up for you guys today. We're going to talk about being the power of becoming a global citizen. We also going to do a reaction video to my good brother, O'Shea Duke Jackson, as well as I'm going to show a little footage of the yacht party that we had with Richie Mack and the owner, Dante, of the Maju Bar, my dude, Travelversity. I'm going to show a little clip of that as well during the show, man. So we got some good stuff lined up for you guys today in this show. I want to first give a shout out to all my guys in the chat room early. Shout out to Bandana Travel. Says salute to anyone who loves Colombia. Shout out to everybody that's in Colombia. We got Corey Green in the building. Shout out to you, Corey Green. We got the travel lover in the building. Yeah, we got a good show lined up for you guys. We're gonna really chop it up today, man. A lot of misconceptions going around, especially more so on YouTube, about the passport, bro, community. Because that's at this point, that's pretty much what it is. You have all types of guys that travel, and they're traveling for different reasons, right? And they're trying to lump everybody into one narrative right now, and I'm here to dispel that, because that can be dangerous to a certain degree when you try to lump everybody into one particular directive or narrative, basically. So we're going to get rid of some of those misconceptions about this beautiful movement that we have going on. I love to see it, man. I meet guys on the daily, first-time travelers, out here in Thailand. I met a lot of guys in Colombia as well, and in Brazil. And it's a very life-changing event. And if you work hard and you put yourself in a position, you also deserve to travel the world and expand your options and possibly become a global citizen. All right. So we're going to chop it up about that. All right. Let me see who's all in the chat again. Shout out to Todd. Mike, he said, hold on. Let me see. He says, what up, Red Cup Riddick? What's good with you, bro? Yeah, we in here, man. We're going to chop it up. We got Rand Travels in the building. Says, what up, BMT? Yeah, we in here, man. We got 44 in the room. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. All right. Dre said he's going to Colombia alone in February. That's what's up, Dre. Enjoy yourself, man. Just be safe. All right. So we're going to play this real quick, man. And we're going to come right back to the family. All right. Play this real quick.
Where I go, no matter where I be. Be rocking it like that, man. I love the fit of this shirt, bro.
Bro, look, I just happened to get off the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. We representing all the way in Thailand, man.
What's up, y'all? It's the Travel OG, and I gotta do my BMT commercial, man, for my BMT shirt, man. This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you're repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt, because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt. And I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Fellas, don't forget to check out the Black Man Travels merch store, where you can purchase BMT t-shirts, tank tops, travel quote tees, and much more. All right, we back, man. Give a shout out to my dude Backpack Val in the building with the follow-out super chat, man. I really appreciate that. I've been keeping up with your YouTube channel as well, my bro. He says, shout out to BMT, always with the informational content along with thought-provoking topic discussions. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. We are in here, man. I really want to give the proper information for guys, because you got a lot of guys on the fence right now, debating on should they get their passport or what level of, information they need to be able to travel the world comfortably. All that good stuff, man. So we're going to chop it up here today about that. All right. Now, before I play the video, I'm going to play just a little snippet of the video of the yacht party. The full video is actually on the Patron. The video that you guys saw was kind of like the watered down version of it, because YouTube and its policies and all that. Shout out to YouTube. But the full video is actually on the Patron. And before I get into the show, a lot of my content will be moving over to the Patreon. All right. All the vlogs, even some of the streams are going to be over there at the Patreon, because right now, I think It's going to be some changes on YouTube. You know, they really looking at different things, and there'd be a lot going on in my videos, especially in the background as far as my vlogs and everything like that. So it's better if I just kind of move it over there to the Patreon, guys. So if you want to see like the vlogs, you want to see me out in Thailand at night and all on the streets and everything, make sure to check out the BMT Patreon, man. It's lit. All right. You know, a lot of good shows on the BMT Patreon. All right. All right. Now, somebody mentioned something about a consultation. That's very true. Good point. He said definitely going to hit you up for a real consultation. Now, let me give you guys a little bit more information about the consultation, because I think I didn't really clarify exactly what the consultations consist of. And some people in the private Facebook group, Passport Bros, shout out to the Passport Bros, just reached 10K. They were, questioning like, well, why would we need a consultation? The majority of consultations that I do are for guys that are actually trying to relocate overseas in the countries that I previously lived in, like Dominican Republic, like Brazil, Colombia, and now currently here in Thailand. So you're going to have a long line of questions and concerns if you are deciding to leave your home country, or even an extended stay of 2 to 3 months. You're looking at different situations that you might be into. All right, when you concerns of actually living overseas long term. Now, don't get me wrong. You do have guys that want a consultation for coming out here, 14 days, couple of weeks too. But when you get a consultation from me, you're actually tapping into a network that you would possibly need when you're traveling and moving overseas. I'll give you a prime example. And I'm not going to put the brothers' information out there that I did consultations with, but one of the consultations was about trying to buy a vehicle in the Dominican Republic. Well, you got to be very careful in purchasing any vehicle overseas, but especially in the Dominican Republic, because a lot of those cars that come, of course, are imported, and they're importing mainly salvage cars into the Dominican Republic. So when you go out there, you're paying high dollar for a salvage automobile that they just pretty much rigged up. And then you're gonna go out there, and then you would have you paid $10,000 for a 99 Mitsubishi Frontier or something like that, and it breaks down on you, not knowing that this was a salvage car from America, right? So you have to know information like that in order to get an importer that I have, and the guy that has his own car dealership out there in the Dominican Republic. And you could possibly even import your American car to the Dominican Republic instead of buying, or you can purchase from a trusted dealer that does not sell salvage cars. But the majority of the cars out there are going to be salvage vehicles from America. So things like that, perfect example. And it's even much more things like medical insurance, the proper medical insurance, the private doctor, a doctor that speaks English. You might need a lawyer in Brazil. You got guys that have entrepreneurial questions that need to be answered, because that's a whole nother treacherous road in itself when you want to open up a business overseas. All right. And it is possible, but you got to make sure you tap into a network, because they will take advantage of you if you don't have, if you're not in with the proper people. So that's mainly what the consultations are for, just to give it some clarification. Mainly guys that are looking to possibly, relocate to Thailand and to Brazil and to Colombia and to the DR as well. All right, guys. So I just want to clarify that before we get into the show. All right. Shout out to my dude, Damon, the Passport King. Shout out to you, bro. So I really want to get into this. Shout out to my brother O'Shea. You got 75 in the room. Do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy, man. This is a pretty good video. I thought this was a real interesting video. I have it queued up. I'm not going to play the entire video. I agree with a lot of the statements in this video from all sides. Let me go ahead and pull this video up real quick. All right. I thought this was an interesting video. I saw this, I think, a couple of days ago. All right. Now it says Dominican man mocks Black Passport Bros for going overseas to date Latino women. That's a good title. It's a good title, but it wasn't necessarily the case when I actually looked at the video. All right. I didn't feel like the guy was mocking. I think the guy was giving some good information. Shout out to all my Dominican dudes. I got a lot of Dominican homies. And they don't really be tripping on American men in general going out there to date Latino women. All right. But I just want to play a few clippers of this video, and shout out to his brother too, who made the video, because he was speaking his truth as well. So this is a pretty good video. You guys should definitely check it out. But I'm gonna play a little clip real quick of this video right here. Hold on. Let me just cue it up. Where we at? Here we go. I think we at right here. Shout out to my dude O'Shea Dude Jackson once again.
A lot of value to his life. But let's listen to the most controversial part here.
Cartagena, Colombia, Rio de Janeiro.
My man.
Hold on. I thought I had it queued up a little bit. Let me go back a little further here. I think we right here. Don't wife women in Sosua, Cartagena, or Rio. Okay. Let me see where we at here. Here we go.
You're being a target in America. The difference is that in America, you wouldn't have a chance at all.
Hold on.
Here you have a chance, possibly because you get paid for play. That professional guys, like, this way to upgrade your life is to get a passport, not working on yourself.
Okay, I want to cue it up because I got a little too ahead of it real quick. Hold on. Where's this guy speaking at? Give me a second, family. Because to me, he made some valid points. Here we go. Now, keep in mind, I believe this guy is more so a weekend warrior. I don't believe he lives in any of these locations. If you do plan on dating a woman seriously, you either need to be able to travel pretty frequently, or you need to live in these countries. And I can guarantee if you live, not necessarily in these, because these are really touristy heavy cities, not so much Rio, but definitely Cartagena and Sosua. But of course, if you was to live in these countries, you might tell a different story because you're going to be around a different area. The first thing you're going to do when you decide to live overseas is you're going to find out that these heavy tourist areas is cool to meet people, meet other Americans and network, but you'll quickly see that that's not the real country. All right. Like, this is literally like a section designed for tourists. Right. And when you have a section designed for tourists, you're definitely going to get women who are looking for American men or Western men in general. All right. So that's the difference right there in itself. And that's when you actually live in the country. I guarantee you probably won't be smack dab in these tourist locations because you're going to start to move around and get adjusted to the real country. All right. Or these real cities per se. But let me play it. I think I got it queued up now. Let me play this.
And I keep queuing it up. To his own life. But let's listen to the most.
Okay. So basically, all the brothers saying is don't wife women up in Sosua, Cartagena. They're using you for money is basically what they're saying. Now, this is the Dominican guy's reaction.
Most controversial part here.
Cartagena, Colombia, Rio de Janeiro.
My man, let me give you a piece of advice from a Dominican citizen. You can go to the Dominican Republic, Colombia, Brazil, and marry a woman. There is nothing wrong with that. The problem is that if you can't score a 7, 8, 10 here in the United States, you can't score a 7, 8, 10 over there neither. If you are ugly here, you're still the same ugly motherfucker over there. Now, these are countries that have necessity, where a lot of people see dollar bills as their salvations. So if you're scoring a 10 over there and over here you're scoring a 4, then they're scamming you. They're with you for your money. You can't be that dumb.
Okay, so
now, guys, I don't necessarily disagree with what the guy was saying. Like I said, I don't think he was mocking the brother here for what he was saying. To me, that should be more so basic knowledge of yourself. Now, one thing I will say is the scale is much different overseas than you have in America, right? So a woman in Brazil that's a 7 is going to be probably a 10 in America. I'm just going to be honest with you. Same thing in the DR, same thing in Colombia. Not to say that they're not beautiful American women, because they are, but I'm saying the women in these countries that he mentioned are extremely beautiful and extremely in shape. All right. And once you get outside the areas that he mentioned, and this is what the Dominican guy was saying, he was just basically saying that, man, you can get a woman out there now, but you might not get, if you've been dating certain types of women, right? You're probably not going to be dating those women in a foreign country, which is not necessarily the truth, bro, because different women are looking for different things. All right. When you're American, you go outside these gringo touristy areas. All right. They might not have the stereotypical view of you as they do in these heavy tourist locations. All right. Because in Sosua and Cartagena and everything, yeah, the women are going to have a certain stereotype about you, right? You're in this heavy tourist location. Everybody know what's going on. You're partying, you're drinking, you're having fun. Nobody's really looking for anything too serious in that type of environment. But if you just go 5 miles out, and when he mentioned Rio, he really was speaking about Copacabana specifically. Copacabana is all of what, 2.5, 3 miles, maybe. Boardwalk. Rio is a big city. Now, Rio definitely has a different, fast mindset, fast-paced mindset as far as the dating. But you can go 20 minutes west in Barra da Juca and find you a girlfriend that doesn't have the same views on, Americans that they do in that particular tourist area, right? So it's some truth in this video. It's some truth in this video, man. But I mean, it should be basic knowledge of you being an adult and a grown man, bro. Yeah, the fantasy of you getting off the plane and then 10, 20 women running to you, that's not necessarily true, granted. But if you put yourself in a position where you can spend long amounts of time overseas, month, 2 months, 3 months, if you can move over there, shout out to my dude Austin. I'm going to be interviewing him hopefully sometime this week. He's over there in Salvador Bahia, and the women know that, okay, you're new, you just moved here, you plan on living here long term, or you plan on being in these countries for months at a time. That changed their whole mindset about you, because you're not just a regular tourist trying to, smash and dash and go back to the States. All right. Women notice, and they're very careful on who they decide to take seriously in these relationships, especially in Colombia. All right. So a lot of that, man, you can kind of circumvent when you are actually staying in these countries. And what you're seeing is the opinion more unlikely of a guy who is in this country for maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month max. All right. And he's in these gringo touristy areas where the prices are all high. It's the same pool of women, same little pool of women in Sosua, Cartagena, Medellin, in the Parquilleras area, in the Copacabana area. You're dealing with a couple of hundred women, all right, that's been around that same area for years, basically. And they're going to have a definitely a tainted view of, an American guy, because that might be what they're looking for to capitalize off of it, all right, to capitalize off his being naive, basically. But when you live there, like I said before, and you there for a month, 2 months, you say, wait a minute, I heard about this little area out here in Rio right here. Let me go over here. Let me chill over here. Oh, the women are way different over here. Wow, it's not so touristy over here. I don't even see that many Americans over here. And as you live there for a while, your language starts to improve, right? So you start speaking a little bit more Portuguese, the way you can at least communicate and say hello and say hi and all that good stuff. How was your day? You start to learn a little bit more Spanish out there. Instead of you being in Sosua, you might go down to San Domingo, or you might be closer to Sosua and Puerto Plata. Instead of you being smack dab in Poblado, you might want to go to La Relis, or you might want to go to Sabaneta or something like that, or you might want to move around, go out there, to Barranquilla or something like that. Shout out to my dude Dre out there in Barranquilla. He's doing consultations as well. All right. Different vibe, different story, different women. All right. Totally different aspect, totally different situation now. So things like this, you just got to take account of, man, because I didn't disagree with anything in this video that anybody said per se. I didn't. everybody was saying things that were are pretty much factual. You know, when you go, I'm not sure what a lot of you guys are going to be looking for if you're only going to be in that country for 2-3 weeks. You know, how serious of a relationship do you really want? I think most guys recognize that, okay, I'm not in a position as of yet to live overseas long term or be there months at a time, because most of the guys overseas are going to be, you know, your IT guys, your retired vets or businessmen, digital nomads, entrepreneurs like myself and stuff like that, where they make their money online or they have a source of income already coming in and they can live overseas for extended periods of time, and are able to travel around the country and get outside some of those heavy gringo areas. I got a super chat here. I want to give a shout out. Shout out to John Robinson Alagu with a $5 Canadian. Appreciate that. He says most of the modern women in the USA, and especially in Canada, where I live, are outdated. Passport bros are the truth. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. For sure, for sure. Appreciate that $5 super chat. All right. Somebody said 10 to 10, Venice, Halle Berry, Sally Richardson, Beyonce, etc. 10s everywhere. You know what, man? I don't know if you've been down to Rio, brother. You know, I don't know if you've been in some of these areas, but I mean, you got some beautiful exotic women. They're going to be exotic to us, which makes them beautiful, right? They're going to be exotic. So they're going to look different. You got a lot of blends, a lot of beautiful women out there in Brazil, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, a lot of beautiful sisters out there in Brazil and in Colombia. You know, most of the guys that I know are actually dating Afro-ish type of women more so than what people would expect, number one. So that is a culture within itself, truth be told, because when these guys are making these statements about these foreign women, they never really account the fact that most black men, at least, are dating black women. They're just black women in South America. Women are still American. You just in South America. As a matter of fact, when you're in Brazil, you can't even say American because they're just like, what you mean? I'm American too, right? You're just North American. I'm South American. You're from the United States. That's what you mean. You're from Estados Unidos, you know, because both locations, remember, everybody's American. You know, nobody's going to say, oh, I'm South American, North American. So you have to say, no, they're Colombian, they're Brazilian. You're from the United States. All right. Shout out to my dude, Donovan 51. Shout out to you, bro. We in here, man. We just in here chopping it up. I'm not going to be here too long. You know, I just want to touch bases with the family. All right, we got 111 in the room. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. All right. I got another super chat here from Moto, the International Mango Lover. He's also a member. Man, I really appreciate that with a $5 super chat. He says, I'd rather entertain Colombian mangoes than deal with the toxicity in the States. Yeah, for sure, man. It can be, you know, dating in America is difficult. I've always said that, but dating overseas can be difficult as well, bro. I'm trying to tell you guys, it's a very simple solution. You know, you have to be able to put yourself in a position where you can actually be in these countries for long periods of time, basically. All right. That's going to change everything. Shout out to my dude, Travelversity. He'll tell you that. That changes everything because the woman is going to be looking at you more so in a long-term fashion. If you do got guys going out, living in the Dominican Republic, they're getting married, bro. You know, a lot of guys in Thailand have girlfriends and looking to get married. Guys in the Philippines have women. You know, guys in Colombia have long-term girlfriends getting married, you know, having weddings and everything. That's a big misconception that passport bros go overseas and don't get married or don't be in long-term relationships. Because once again, they're lumping everybody into one narrative. You know, the guys that go overseas for a couple of weeks, right? They're putting all the attention on them, basically. You know, not because you got a whole other level of traveler, of expat, which needs a ton of information to be able to move properly overseas. That's what the consultations are about. Like I say, if you plan on moving to Colombia and you don't have the proper health insurance or you don't have a doctor on call, I want you to go ahead and go to the hospital and see how it turns out for you. All right. You'll have to be there for 3 days, to get some band-aids, and they're not going to do any tests on you because they want to get paid. All right. That's why you got to have it. You got to have, your own doctor that do house calls. It's very reasonable. You try to do business anywhere around the world, you got to be tapped into the right lawyer, because the wrong lawyer will screw you out of all your paper. I've seen it in the DR. I've seen it here in Thailand. We're not even going to talk about how hard it is in Brazil to even get in the door when it comes to business, because they want all the businesses to be owned by Brazilians. All right. That's a whole nother level of, issues that you're going to face. All right. These are things you might want to get a consultation for. You don't have to get a consultation. I'm just giving you an example of what guys do, when they plan on moving overseas. You're going to save a whole lot more time and money because you're not going to be able to find a private doctor on Google, are you? Okay? You're not going to be able to Google different lawyers. Okay, go to that lawyer and see what happens to you. You'll get finessed like the dude got finessed out here for them $8,000, and you'll get a receipt that you looked at the building or something. All right, because none of the money went to the building. It went toward all his fees and stuff like that. So it's a level of information that you need in order to be able to move overseas. Now, if you want to explore and figure it out yourself, man, I'm all for it. It's nothing wrong with that. You're going to get, you're going to go down a more long and, I ain't going to say treacherous road, but you're going to go down a different road where the guy that might get the proper information, he doesn't even have to go down the road because you've already pointed out the things that he needs to know, right? So just make that, just put that in your Rolodex, your mental Rolodex, as they say, because it's a lot to it. You just don't want to pull up in a foreign country. Oh, shout out to my girl Gail at Night too. Shout out to you, Gail at Night. I didn't even see you in there. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna go ahead and play some of the yacht party. Like I said, I'm not gonna be here too long. I want to play just a small clip of the yacht party because it was off the chain, man. Shout out to Richie Matt, shout out to Travelversity, shout out to all the guys that was on the yacht party, man. We really did it up, enjoyed it, had a real good time out there. And I just want to show you a clip of what was going on the yacht because you're gonna be surprised. Shout out to my dude D South Crown 35 with the follow out super chat. He's also a member, man. I really appreciate that. He says, which would you recommend first, the DR, Colombia? I'm all Thailand, but I want to see what South America is talking about. He says, I'm all in on Thailand, but I want to see what South America is talking about. DR or Colombia, that really depends on what you're looking for. But I'm going to always say that's a hard one, man. It really depends on the amount of time you have in these countries as well. If it's just a weekend, DR all day. If you go to Colombia, I would say a minimum of a week, 5 days, because you're just going to get, it's Colombia is a little different in the way you got to kind of move a little bit. It's not a lot of daytime activity in certain areas like Medellin per se. So you're going to be going out at night and in the evenings more so. Whereas in the DR, you have a beach. You do have a beach in Cartagena as well. But I know when you say Colombia, I'm not sure what city you're talking about, whether it be Medellin or Cartagena. But even though I say that the beach culture in the DR, to me, is way more lit than it is in Colombia, at least from what I see in Cartagena. All right. All right. Shout out to Ivan, $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, I'll be moving out to Thailand in June, working for a U.S. company remote. Man, shout out to you. That's good stuff. The couple of weeks I was over there, I left a lasting impression. It left a lasting impression on me. So I'm out of here in June. Man, I hear that all the time. Shout out to you, Ivan, once again for the $9.99 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that. I hear that a lot, man. I actually hear that a lot. I hear guys come out here. I hear that a lot in Brazil, too. Really, almost every country I've been in, I hear that a lot. More so in Colombia more than anything because Colombia is relatively close to America. But I hear that. I hear guys be like, listen, man, I'm about to go. That's what I did. I did the same thing, man. I said, man, when I first went to Brazil in 2017, it took me about 3 years to put myself in a position where I could have a nice jump start the nest egg when I moved overseas. All right. And then the YouTube channel was really started because of the blog. And that started making, a little income, and it had other sources coming in because I've always been an entrepreneur. I just was on the video production side of it. So Yeah, man, make sure you do the proper research, put yourself in a position to go ahead and move, go ahead and get that storage unit, all that good stuff, man, and come on over here. I know guys that have apartments in Bangkok and Pattaya. I know one guy that got an apartment back in Medellin, and he has an apartment in Thailand. So it's possible, man. Somebody said Cartagena for the win. What up, BNT? What up, bro? I think you changed your name. Now it's Prize. Okay, you guys be confused me when y'all change your name. Shout out to Gail at Night. She's also in the building. Obviously, I missed that party. Was you in Thailand, man? A lot of people got upset with us, but check it out. As soon as it got posted, it filled because there's only so many people can be on the yacht, and we was already over the capacity. All right, so you got to catch that yacht pretty early on, man. Them things fill up quick. They fill up quick. All right, so I'm gonna play just a little snippet. Let me play just a little snippet, man. All right. Hold on, here we go. All right. Now, this was a good part right here. So we were, just give it a little context. We were partying. We were having, fun. I'm on the other side of the boat. And then I walked to the quiet side of the boat. So we out here making sure I don't bust my ass and fall over in the water. We're going to make it happen, man. The quiet side of the boat. We're talking about stocks and bonds and shit. We're talking about crypto or something.
Could he tell what's in the bonds?
Stocks and bonds. Oh, there you go. There you go. We in here.
Man, let me say this, man. This dude's been living in Thailand for almost a year. I don't get to see him that much, man. And we here, man, whenever I see Aaron Ferris, dude, it's a smile on my face. This dude is a solid individual. He's a good dude. He's a good brother. He influenced me and a lot of y'all, man. So we was here chopping it up, man. And he asked me a question that, like, and it's real, man. It's like, why do only our own hate on us? Like, where does that come from? That's what you was asking me, right?
Yeah, I was asking. I'm like, why? Like, we get a lot of, we get it. But why from our own? Like, why we tear each other down?
Because they can't do it. Because they can't do it. Because people that can do it, they don't hate. It's the people that can't do it that hate. But it inspires me so much, man. You know what I mean? When I see a hater, I love to just rub it in their face. Male, female, black, white, whatever. If you hating, I'm really gonna put it in your face because I'm gonna show you. I done gave them a matrix challenge. My life against yours. If y'all think it's so sweet back home and y'all got all these date coaches and stuff, well, put their day up against my day or our day and we just see who wins. But ain't nobody took me up on that offer.
And remember, we're supposedly beefing, right? Right. So I just want to play that little quick snippet, but I want to go back to here real quick. All right. I want to go back to here. Where we at? Now, on this side of the boat, we're talking about stocks and bonds. You got business owners, a brother that owns a dispensary out here. You got a lawyer right there. You got a brother that's under 40 and already retired. You got my dude Dante out there that owns the Maju Bar and Guest House. All right. Businessmen, all businessmen right here, bro. Shout out to all of those brothers. All right. This is what's going on overseas. This is what people are not talking about. This is the portion they're not telling you. All right. Because it's all about what the guys who, pretty much going partying and having fun on their vacations, which they deserve to do. But they're not talking about this part, the part about becoming global citizens, right? Guys that have the proper networks to be able to open up businesses overseas. How many brothers and I'm sure it's a lot of brothers that own dispensaries in the States, but how many of them own a dispensary overseas, all right, outside the country, all right? Big opportunities in that, all right? Brothers that own bars. This is just not Thailand. You got brothers that own whole restaurants out there in Cartagena, Colombia. You got guys in Medellin that own 48, 50-something apartments, all right? This is what I'm preaching. This is the narrative that I want to put out there, all right? Yes, you can be very successful in America, right? You can be worth millions. You can really have it together. But just imagine the leverage you have when you can bring those same resources overseas and double it up 5 times over. And you see a brotherhood already building itself up all over the world. Fellas, this is a powerful movement. It's not going to be stopped. It's never going to end. All right. I'm always going to preach this to you. All right. Because believe it or not, at some point, the women are just the icing on the cake. I preached that to you before. I mean, this is really some good stuff that this movement going. And we're showing you this instead of just telling you this. Where in most cases, these guys are just telling you, right? They're just telling you. I'll give you a prime example. I was watching a video by that dude, Marquise Burton, that goes by the Saint in the Center. All right. I think he took the live down. I don't know. It was about him, not him, but Rob in Colombia, drugged and robbed in Colombia. Now, I'll tell you this, he does travel. He does travel, right? So he has a basic knowledge of going, because when you go to these countries, even for like a week or two, you're going to learn some stuff, right? I'm not going to take that away from him. But he said some things in the video about him walking through a tough neighborhood with all his jewelry dripped on and not having any issues. Okay, brother, that's cool. But why not actually show that instead of telling us that? Because right now you're giving these guys the wrong information. He did say in the video, he said, well, I don't advise you do that, but I can do that. The whole machoism type of stuff, the one-man army, the Rambo. Listen, bros, bad advice. Bad advice. Watch you take advice from when these foreign countries, bro, because it's no joke out here. All right? It is no joke. You're not at home. All right? The same rules don't apply. You just can't simply call the police like you think you can. All right? They know that you're American. They know you don't speak the language. Look how much of a disadvantage that you have and much as an advantage that you have. All right? It's like somebody breaking into your home at night, but you got the gun and they're unarmed. You can walk around that house with the lights pitch black off because you lived in that house for 30, 40 years. You know exactly where all the nooks and crannies at. All right? So they're entering your home. You know that they're coming to your home. All right? You're looking at them coming to your home, and you have the upper view. All right? You got all the advantages on your side. So it's no point in trying to be a tough guy overseas, man. Just try to blend in as possible. All right? Make sure you're in the right areas and locations and everything, and enjoy yourself. But just watch the information that some of these guys got. I don't know why it is about dudes coming online trying to brag about them walking through tough neighborhoods overseas. It's nothing to brag about, bro. It's actually quite dangerous when you think about it. All right? But hey, if you like it, I love it. Yeah, I mean, my thing is don't tell it, show it. If you're so big and bad, walk through. I mean, you the dude, all this, these karate moves and stuff. Go ahead and walk through the neighborhood. Let's see what those karate moves can do. Sometimes, man, some of these guys, bro, they've watched all these movies. They've watched John Wick. They watch all these action movies and they actually internalize the stuff they see on TV. All right. And it's just not the way it's just not the real world, bro. It's just not the real world. Nobody's going to sit here and be like, all right, spar, let's go. There's no referee in the middle or nothing like that. There's no boxing gloves in the street, bro. Nobody's going to mess. Like, it happens in 5 seconds flat. It's over with. They roll up on you with a rusty pistol. They take all your jewelry, take all your money. And if you don't give it to them, they shoot you. There's really no room for you to do your taekwondo moves out there like that. You don't know the language, all right? So it's going to be a language barrier because more than likely they only know a few words to tell you in English, which is give me all your shit, basically, or I'm going to shoot you. It's really self-explanatory. So all I'm going to say is I ain't going to be too long-winded on Marquise Burton, Saint Center, because we had our back and forth at one time. All I'm saying is just watch who you process the information from, man, because there's a lot of different information out there already. All right. Shout out to Highlander 2016. I'm laughing with $1.99 in Super Chat, man. I really appreciate that. I'm laughing because he says, BMT, why did you jump off the boat? Man, I got a torn hamstring, bro. All right. I could jump off the boat, but I might jump off next time. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you got brothers owning a dispensary, man. It's a lot of opportunities out here, bro. You just gotta know how to go about it. All right. Somebody said, Mr. G's World. Shout out to you, bro. You guys are changing your name. No, I think that's your name. Shout out to $2 Super Chat. Mr. G, I believe that's you in the Passport Bros group, bro. Apologies, man, that we can't really approve a lot of stuff in the Facebook group right now because we're under shadow ban restriction. So we really don't know what to approve. So we just been playing it safe in the group at this point until we get off restrictions. If it's not like a travel notes or travel reports, it's pretty much not getting approved per se, because we do got 10,000 guys in that group, and we want to make sure. You even got people making lies up about the group, but it is what it is, man. So we want to make sure that we keep the group right. So we can't approve a lot of posts, unfortunately. But shout out to Mr. G. He says karate MMA moves versus the Beretta. Exactly. A whole bunch of tough guys online, right? So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get up out. This is going to be a quick show. Like I said, I really didn't have a show per se planned because I wanted to be outside, but the wind was just too heavy. So I appreciate you guys joining me. We're going to go ahead and get on up out of here, man. Get the day started. It's about 10 a.m. here. I know it's about 10 p.m. Look out for some shows this week. We're going to be bringing Austin on. He's going to give us a full rundown of his experiences in Salvador Bahia, man. So look out for that one. I'm also going to be interviewing the owner of the Maju Bar, Dante, as well sometime this week. So, guys, stay tuned. Peace.